So there's a video going around where a Tamashii representative pretty much like straight out says that this new body type for Goku is indeed the 3.0 body type. So we know at the very least that this is how they're referring to it internally. I still reckon that it's sort of like a 4.0, because if this is the 3.0, where does that leave these guys? Now, genuinely, like, if they've said it's 3.0, it is 3.0. But I thought it was interesting because it's like, these were sort of like in between 2.0 and 3.0. And a lot of them introduce different things that stayed somewhat consistent across the line, but didn't really like stick so much until like the Daima Goku and this new body type, because we're going to be seeing it, you know, for at least 4 more figures, because there's this Cell Games Begin one, there's the normal state Goku, there's the Super Saiyan God Goku, and the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku. So we know that this is the new body type that they're going for, and these were some sort of like cool little experiment that was like an in-between thing, even though that in-between thing lasted a long time. So why don't we sort of like roughly gauge where these all sit? So here is the lineup of all the main body types for the Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts line. Would have liked to keep it all Goku, but Superhero Gohan is sort of its own thing and sort of fits in between this anyway, and they didn't do an official body type like this, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, there's 1.0 Goku, who's very clearly a 1.0. They used this mold for a decent chunk of figures. Then they moved on to the Super Saiyan Awakening Goku, which sort of heralded the 2.0s, but wasn't consistent yet at that point. And so it sort of sits as a 1.5. It is very close to a 2.0, but like it was the first one, so they were still working out the kinks. And then the 2.0 body, so that was the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, but, you know, got standardized and eventually released for all sorts of things, so I've got the full power Super Saiyan Goku for that. Then you've got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Superhero Gohan, and the Legendary Super Saiyan Goku that sort of sit as like 2.5s now. Originally I called them 3.0s, but it's sort of its own thing now, and they sit in between this little bracket here. Just because they are unique designs, but the body types just weren't consistent across the board, and the engineering was sort of similar, sort of not. It was kind of awkward. Then we've got Daima Goku, which is very similar to the engineering that we eventually got in the real 3.0. So it's kind of cool. It's an interesting little lineup, but we do actually have a 3.0 now, so that's cool.